Today's coverage is brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Plenty going on here today. Let's see what's happening at the 14th. Sitting comfortably inside the cut line, it would appear the steady play will be enough to secure a spot in this weekend's action.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the TPC Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate at a Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage, but golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at TPC Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there. The parties that ring around there. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else, but it really works there. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year, just 1 week, where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the TPC Scottsdale.
Well, birdies are hard to come by in this situation. So tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. On the green, short, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Not a gimme, but well within his range.
That's a good par given the situation.
Still tight, still close. Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist pumping, the rowdy spectators. And he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. Has it now to 7 under for the tournament. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byron's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
So, they'll tap in. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Par 4 18th, and Frank, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a J.B. Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat.
Second shot, good look at the green. Good swing, good shot yet again. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. And he has it for birdie. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Moorish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
All set to go. We take you to the first hole. Frank, time for the third round and time for a good start.
That's right. 2 rounds in the bank. And what will today have to offer?
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole.
Ooh, chance for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Teed up here at the par 4 second. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
This hole has been lengthened in 2014, some 30-plus yards. Bunkering down the right has also changed, making this drive a little bit more important now. You can't just blaze away over the hill. Green also changed with the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. This is a good-looking shot. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point. Ah, nice.
Looks good. Now the second shot to the par 5.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Just making a mockery of the field now. Another eagle.
Here now at the par 3 fourth. Frank, what's the setup here?
Plays a little downhill, so it won't play its full 180 yards. You perhaps take one club off the decision off the tee. The green, as you can see now, is a little wider than what it was deep. The bunkering, though, is certainly excellent there. A little pop bunker on the right side, one there if you come up a little short, And there's another one on the left side should you pull your tee shot.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He needs this for par. Well, considering the lead that he has on the rest of the field, a par is all you need. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So, the strategy. Do you have the length to get past them? Or, if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
Yeah, about 145 yards left here. Down, little Sheba. Down! Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. And that wraps up the 3rd round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green. In the direction of the sand.
It looks like it. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up, and getting ready for the putt. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace. It's hard to be critical of that.
Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, what makes this so special is the walk underneath the grandstands. It's the Gladiator coming into the Coliseum.
That's a perfect description, Rich, and that's why this hole is unlike any other hole on the PGA Tour. The atmosphere that the players feel on that tee, they cannot prepare for, they can't experience anywhere else. This is a once-in-a-lifetime par 3.
And when you look at it from up high with the blimp view, it sort of appears as though they dropped Fenway Park or Wrigley Field right into the desert. And this is a sellout crowd. I mean, this is 20,000 fans, and there's nothing like it. There's not a single hole in golf that has more fans on it than the 16th here at TPC Scottsdale. Oh, do that. Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Oh, dude, that in the hole. Tremendous shot. Well, again, the fairways are lined with those huge galleries coming off 16 and 17. Now the finishing hole here at TPC Scottsdale. And Frank, what can we expect?
Well, this is a goodie. It'll play slightly as a dogleg left. Now, many a year, a player would try and carry the ball all the way over that water down the left side. But those new bunkers down there, it stopped the J.B. Holmes attack on this par 4. You're really going to have to play a little right of those now. And there's a couple of bunkers up on the hill to stop you doing that. So this is really a much tougher tee shot. 440 yards of par 4 just got a little bit more difficult.
Good-looking shot right here. That is a beauty, a real beauty. Biggest crowds in all of golf, and a big putt right here to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a great putt and a great win. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And let's go down to the 6th. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, one of the real privileges of broadcasting at Bay Hill is when we get a visit to the booth by the king himself, Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, he has so many stories. I love when he talks about the way in which his father, Deacon Palmer, first taught him how to grip a golf club. He said he put his hands on the club and he said, "Son, don't let them ever move, and you'll play golf forever and a day."
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sandwich. Amazing. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Moving on now, Frank, we're at the par 3 7th hole. What's the challenge here?
Really, the high ball hitters have an advantage here. Just try and carry it in the middle of the green.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Frank, how about the 8th par 4, one of the more intriguing setups?
Ideally, you want to just work your tee shot away from that bunker. But this is one fairway you must hit because it's one of the toughest second shots on the golf course.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Just a beautiful approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. And with that birdie, into the top 25 on the leaderboard. Rounding out the front 9 here at Bay Hill, 474-yard par 4. Frank, you've played this hole before. Where are you lining up when you step onto the tee here?
There's an out of bounds all the way down the left side that you have to be cognizant of. But that bunker, 290 yards carries it. And yet again, another hole that favors the long hitter. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
This, the second shot here at the par 4. Headed for the bunker, I think. Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away. Instead, straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. You know what's great about Bay Hill is that it's the house that Arnold Palmer built, the King. And if you do visit Bay Hill, there's actually a decent chance that at some point you'll bump into Arnold, either in the grill room for breakfast or out of the driving range. He still loves the game, always has. And there's also a good chance that Arnold will say hello to you, look you in the eye. He is the best there ever was when it comes to fan interaction. This is a good-looking shot. That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. That's a good move this week.
Frank, 440-yard par 4 11th. You see that number on the card, you think driver. Maybe not. Why?
Yeah, it's imperative you hit the fairway here, Rich. Water obviously in play left, 2 bunkers on the right. This is a second shot hole.
It's a 180-yard shot, his second. This one's looking good. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
He has this putt for birdie. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Doing that trio at the top.
So that concludes round 1. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We're at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida, site of one of the PGA Tour's premier stops, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Always attracting a great field, and through the years it has been the scene of just some championship play from one guy in particular.
Tiger Woods has won there an incredible 8 times.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo back at the 4th. It's the first par 5 on the golf course, Frank.
The litmus test is that first bunker on the left side. If you can get it past that, you've hit it over 330 yards.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Frank, tricky little third shot here at the par 5 fourth.
Especially if you don't have a full number, because there's just that little mound in the middle of the green. If you get on the wrong side of that, instantly you can be 30, 40 feet away. So check where the flag is. Is it front? Is it back? And then try and land it in that section.
Birdie try up next. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. In for par. Frank, now to the fifth. What's the strategy here at this shorter par 4?
Well, if you want to flex your muscles, Rich, take it over that left bunker. With a little trailing breeze, you might even get close to the green.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, nice to have a short iron into a par 4 here at Bay Hill, but still no guarantee that you'll make the birdie or even par.
But a reward for a good one, exactly the way you've described it. This is one hole that's a swing hole. Hit a good shot in here, you're going to have inside 10, 15 feet for a birdie. Make a mistake, then all of a sudden you're scratching your head. How did I make 5?
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That is some good work right there. Birdie and one shot closer to the lead. Frank, the sixth is a big, brawny par 5, and it can be scary as well with all of that water.
And if you're a history buff, you'll remember in 1998, John Daly made 18. Beat that? Well, you're a little better than John.
What's wrong with 18? If you break it down, Frank, that's actually 3 pars and an eagle. By my math, that's pretty good work.
But you got 17 other holes to play.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
And with that, birdie moves into a tie for the lead.
We've got ourselves a battle right now, Rich.
Moving on now, Frank, we're at the par 3 7th hole. What's the challenge here?
Really, the high ball hitters have an advantage here. Just try and carry it in the middle of the green.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Throwing darts just inside of 5 feet. Birdie try again here today. Playing beautiful golf. 8 under for the tournament. Frank, as you step to the tee here at the 8th, what are you seeing?
Another hole that suits the long hitter, Rich. That bunker just over 300 yards. The further you get down there, the shorter club you have in over the water. I'm loving that balance.
Good contact, good result.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, as we look at the approach shot here at the 8th, no doubt a player would be happy to walk out of here with a par.
Oh, no doubt about that at all. Really, you want to judge your second shot to land somewhere in the middle of this green. Don't really want to be messing with the front. If you have a little look, you'll see why.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Par yesterday. Now for birdie. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend Frank Nobilo. We're here in Orlando, Florida, at the house that Arnold built, the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, what are some of the toughest shots out on this golf course?
Second shot into 8 comes to mind when you've got that sort of long water carry to a very thin green. Probably only a club or so deep there, so it's very hard to get that to land soft. 17 and 18 are always difficult for any level of play. 17, the green is angled slightly to the right. Even though you're coming from an elevated tee, it's tough to judge the right club and get the ball to land softly. And of course, there's always the finishing hole that has to be navigated.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Playing his third here at the par 5. That's well played. Places it about 10 feet out for birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Now to the 5th hole, and off the tee, Frank, how do these fairway bunkers sort of factor into your mindset as you prepare to tee off?
Well, if you watch the pros play on the Arnold Palmer Invitational, you'll see two different strategies here. Just an iron off the tee, give yourself a full shot in, or, well, if you're a longer hitter, take it over that bunker on the left.
Just an ideal lie, Frank. What can he do from here?
Well, if he takes advantage of the tee shot now and goes at this flag, then he'll certainly gain on the field.
Frank, what about this approach shot here at the 5th?
One of the few holes where you get a short iron in your hand for that second shot, but that green slopes away at about a 45-degree angle to the right, which makes distance control paramount here at 5.
Good swing, good shot yet again. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Has it. That's birdie. Frank, back in 1998, by any chance, do you remember exactly how many golf balls John Daly hit into the water at the 6th?
It was half a dozen. Half a box of golf balls.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Second shot.
That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
It's at sneaky distance.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
But you can't afford to give away strokes coming down the stretch. Frank, the good news as you come to the 7th after that beast of a par 5 is that it's just under 200 yards and there's no water.
Yeah, it's not as long as the second, but it's just as demanding. Very narrow entry into this green. In the direction of the sand.
It looks like it. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in. Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
No damage done. Made the par. Frank, how about the 8th par 4, one of the more intriguing setups?
Ideally, you want to just work your tee shot away from that bunker. But this is one fairway you must hit because it's one of the toughest second shots on the golf course.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. It's a consistent theme here at Bay Hill, if you can carry it 300 yards.
Bay Hill always favors the longer hitter. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. This is the second shot at the par 4. Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
Yeah, starting to get the momentum, too, for the finish.
So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. One of the famous layouts on the PGA Tour is the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. This is the King's Palace. Arnold Palmer built it, Frank, in the 1970s.
And for so long, it has been the showcase for Orlando golf.
Par 4 13th, Frank, you've played it on a number of occasions. How do you attack this hole?
Really one of the shortest on the golf course, but this is a fool's paradise here. There's a lot of things that can go wrong.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Par 4 13th, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, once you're on the green, I think you know this. The idea is to keep it on the green. This one's on the fringe. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Frank, one of the things I like about Bay Hill is it requires you to hit clean, strong golf shots, and here's another case at the par 3 14th. It's more than 200 yards.
Another one, really, you've just got to play it through the air. You can't play this like an Open Championship run-up par 3. Must fly it onto the green.
Well, just to the right there with some room to play. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Could use this one. This is for par.
Another good par.
At the 15th hole now at Bay Hill, this is a massive dogleg, Frank.
Yeah, if you're a Bubba Watson type player and you can move the ball around, you can move it left to right, that'll certainly help the tee shot. If you're average Joe, though, you just hit it down the left. Take your medicine.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
This, the second shot here at the par 4. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Count it. That's a birdie. The Bay Hill Club and Lodge features a really exciting finishing stretch. 16 is a reachable par 5. You'll see eagles and birdies there coming home. 17, a very difficult par 3 over the water. The bunker is there. Takes an excellent shot. And then 18 is all you want. We know that with the water in front. That second shot which comes over the lake. And that's a hold your breath moment. It is a great finishing 3-hole stretch at Bay Hill.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
What is he able to like?
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Good putt. Frank, this is a great hole through the years to watch when the pressure is ratcheted up deep into a round. That is all you want at more than 220 yards.
Plays slightly shorter because it's downhill. The bunker's on the left in play. Even the bunker short ride, and of course the water, if you just miss it a bit, that's in play. And the green shapes away from you. This has to be the most difficult par 3 on the golf course.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? These putts keep the round together. Good roll. Finishing hole at Bay Hill. Frank, how good is this 18th?
Well, it's good because it makes you scratch your head. If you look at your score, your own personal score, and then fast forward, you've made a big mistake. There's something about a well-hit shot.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
Making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. To win the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Mark that as a birdie on the card.
Rich, it came down to just a shot or two here or there, but we were treated some amazing golf this week.
Just one player standing. That was earned, well-deserved, beautifully played. EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Alberta Classic. And now let's go down to the action at the fourth. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.